Falls. Shannon Austin here with another Public Works update. And boy, do we have a full episode today, so stay tuned for all of your latest and greatest on detours and construction projects. Well, our first stop today is at 33rd Street in Minnesota, and we welcome to the show Chad Sensen from LTAG. Chad, truthfully speaking, I've been avoiding this intersection because it looks like it's got a lot of stuff going on. So the contractor's got which side of the street? Where's he working at first?
Phase one right now is the east side of the street, so
Okay.
that's actually got most of the work that we have to do. So we decided to take the hardest stuff first, and get it out of the way.
So it looks like there's a lot of pipes sitting around. So there's a lot of storm drainage pipe and water main. What is the contractor working on now?
They're working now. They've just got done with putting in a lot of the water main. We've done some of the sanitary repairs that we have to do. So they're just kind of working now on some of the storm pipes and getting those installed. A lot of them are delivered now.
Okay.
They're doing a structure replacement at this point. We're waiting for some utilities to get moved so we can pull some more of these structures out so it's safe for them to do that work.
So this intersection, while we've certainly been in this intersection before. Most recently was in 2004, and before that the DOT was doing work. This is really a hub of a lot of utilities, isn't it? I mean, how challenging is that for a contractor to come in here and try to work around every utility, public and private?
It's been challenging for them. There's a lot of private utilities. Some of them are very difficult to move or can't really be moved without a long time to do that. So we've worked and designed the storm sewer to go around those and still be able to, transmit the water through this intersection and down towards the river.
So this was part of our 33rd Street in Duluth storm drainage basin. Do you know how big that basin is that actually flows through this area?
I think it's somewhere in the vicinity north of 200 acres of Sioux Falls, drains through here either down the pipes on Minnesota or off of Dakota and 33rd.
That's a lot of land coming through this little intersection.
Yep.
So what was the main driver of this intersection? Was it public utility update, or was it street deterioration, or what was actually the main driver?
It was the street deterioration. The intersection was in pretty bad shape, as anybody who's driven through here probably knows. The utility improvements were done because we got the pavement off, and while you have the pavement off, might as well get the utilities repaired. Sure,
absolutely. So this first phase will last probably until when? End of June, early July?
About then, yep.
Okay, and then what can our drivers expect? Will it always be just through traffic? Will always happen on Minnesota Avenue?
Yes, they'll just be shifted. So we'll build part of the intersection on the east side, and then when we do the work on the west side, we'll move traffic over this. So it'll operate the same way as it does right now.
Okay.
It'll just be on the east side of the intersection.
And all the businesses are still open to traffic.
Yep.
You just got to kind of meander your way around.
Yeah, sometimes they've got some business signs around to help direct people so that they can find a different way in to be able to get to the coffee shops and the gas stations and stuff.
Okay, so ultimately, when is the final completion of this project?
It's in early October, late September.
But it's going to be like this for a while then.
Yes.
So any helpful advice you can give our drivers as they go through the construction zones?
Probably slow down, keep an eye out for any of the construction workers. If you can find a different way, find a different way. It kind of keeps traffic for everybody that has to go through this way. Certainly don't, if you're going to go to any of the businesses around here, don't find a different way. But if you're driving through to get somewhere else, maybe find for a different path.
And just be patient.
Yeah, and be patient.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll probably stop back in a couple months to check on your progress. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, our next stop is on the south and west side of the city. It's on 49th Street, right around by Louise Avenue. And we welcome to the show Gabe from HDR Engineering. Gabe, you got a lot of stuff going on again on 49th Street. So a couple years ago, we did some work on 49th and Louise. So how is this related to that project?
It's really a continuation of that work. We've got a 12x5 box culvert that's being installed that we started on the previous project, and we're extending it all the way to the Oxbow on this one. So
there's just a lot of drainage then that comes down from where? I mean, where?
It's coming all the way over the interstate, really.
Oh, okay, very good. So is the storm drainage the main driver of this project?
Yes.
Okay. So the contractor's been working, got a lot of the street tore up. He's on the south side of 49th Street right now?
Yes, we really kind of try to split it up into a couple phases so we keep traffic open on the street here along the project.
So is the entire south side closed then?
Yes, we have the south side closed off, but we still have access to businesses off the backside streets.
Okay, and then what about the businesses in the Cayley Library on the north side?
Yep, they have access as well from different ways, and then we'll make sure and keep the cul-de-sac open throughout construction.
Okay, so I guess, has there been any challenges that the contractor has come across in this short construction time frame so far?
Yeah, with the box culvert being a 12 by 5, it's just so large. There's a lot of utilities that underground utilities end up being away, the private side of things. And so it's been a little bit of a struggle getting through that and getting that all to work out, but they're continuing to move forward.
So 12 by 5, it's 12 wide and then 5 foot tall, right? Typically some of those boxes are larger. How come this one's kind of a weird size?
Yeah, we really tried. We were limited by depth because this storm sewer does outlet to the oxbow.
Okay.
We were tied to how deep we could make it, and so really we made it as tall as we could and still had cover in the road and match into the oxbow.
Because you want to be able for it to flow into the
Yes.
river. Very good, very good. So is there still pedestrian access? Because we have Sertoma Park that's on the south side. Can pedestrians still traverse through the construction zone, or do you have them detoured?
Yes, we do have them detoured, trying to maintain pedestrian access. So we do have detour signs up on both sides trying to reroute pedestrians.
Okay. And then ultimately, on the 49th Street project by Louise a couple years ago, we actually constructed a 10-foot path. Are we also going to have a 8 to 10-foot path on the south side of 49th Street?
Yes, we're completely rebuilding the sidewalk on the south side to continue that path.
Oh, that'll be great. So ultimately, when is the construction to be completed?
Right now we've got a target of the middle of August.
Oh, that's
hopefully,
a fast schedule.
and hopefully the weather works with us and things continue to progress. So.
Okay, so we probably better be out here in about another month, because will you have flipped over traffic in about a month, do you think?
Maybe a little bit longer, but hopefully pretty soon, right around there.
Okay, perfect. Well, all right, well, thanks so much for your time today.
All right, thank you.
Well, our third stop today is out on 69th Street in Sycamore. We welcome to the show Travis Clark from JSA. Travis, welcome. I think this is the first time I got to talk to you.
It is.
In such a project that maybe not a lot of our drivers know about, because it's kind of on the fringes of the south and east part of the city. So first, to give our viewers an indication, what are we actually doing for the overall goal of the project?
Yeah, so the overall goal of the project was essentially to give a paved section from the west over to Sycamore and then up to Sycamore to connect to the pavement we did a few years ago.
Okay.
On either end, the west and north end, to provide another thoroughfare for the traveling public to access the southeast part of town.
Well, that'll certainly be a little relief. I'm an east sider, and so it'll be a nice little relief to have that paved connection.
Yep.
So on the west end of the project, we have a median, a 4-lane with the median. Are we bringing that median all the way through to Sycamore?
No, we are not. So we are going to do the full build out with the median section from where we left off a few years ago, and we are going to run it through Greystone Avenue. Greystone will be a full intersection,
Okay.
4-way intersection. And then we will taper down to a 2-lane rural paved section with ditches to the east of Greystone, about 500 feet.
Okay.
And then it'll be a 4-way stop at 69th and Sycamore.
And so the main reason why we're not carrying that full section is that city been annexed yet or not?
They have not been annexed,
Okay.
and we weren't able to obtain the right-of-way from a couple of the property owners along the corridor here.
But it'll certainly be a great interim section, especially
Yes.
when we get South Veterans Parkway connected to 69th Street. That'll just be a great
Correct,
addition.
correct.
So what are the biggest challenges on this project?
The biggest challenge was we've got a lot of storm drainage that goes through the section here. We're picking up quite a large basin, stormwater basin, so we had to find out a way to get the water from the downstream and basically up to almost past Greystone, between Greystone and Bonson.
Okay.
So we've got a 7x3 box culvert that's about a half mile of 7x3, 7 foot wide by 3 foot tall concrete box culvert that's going in under the roadway to collect all that storm water and get it to the east where it wants to go naturally.
So there was a BMP that we recently constructed, I think in the last couple of years. Is that where the water is going
Correct.
to?
Yep, that is where the water from this project will drain to. Yes.
And then that
Yep.
BMP is adjacent to the South Veterans Parkway
Correct.
corridor also.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So 7x3, we were just at 49th Street and the Oxbow project, and that was a 12x5. So 7x3 is often, I mean, that's even a weirder size, isn't it, in the construction world?
Yes, it's a little smaller. So we do it precast because they can't cast in place because the guy can't get in into a 3-foot box and stand
Sure,
up or
sure.
anything in there. So
how come the weird height then on that one, a 3-foot?
we had kind of cover issues, so everything's very flat out in this area of town. So in order to, basically that was the span we needed for the drainage purposes.
Okay.
But we didn't have much room to go up and down with the box, so that's how we ended up with a 3-foot box culvert.
All right, so again, this is kind of outside of our viewer's eye, but certainly a big project to enhance that whole southeast network.
Yes, correct.
Very good. Anything else you want to tell our viewers about the project?
It's going real good so far. The weather's been cooperating pretty well. We're roughly 3 weeks to a month ahead of schedule, so we're looking at possibly asphalt paving in August.
Great. And then when's the project ultimately going to be completed?
Probably in September.
Oh, wonderful.
Our completion date was mid-October originally, but we're looking like we're going to be quite a ways ahead of that. So
As long as we stay dry.
as long as we stay dry, yes.
Very
as long
good.
as the weather keeps cooperating.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for your time. We're
Yeah,
on to our
you're
last
welcome.
project update.
All right.
Well, our last stop today is on Kiwanis Avenue, south of 12th Street, where we have traffic narrowed down to 1 lane in each direction. We welcome to the show Michelle, who is our resident concrete expert from the city engineering office. So Michelle, welcome.
Yes, thank you, Shannon.
So this is not really a typical joint and spall repair work on Kiwanis.
That is correct.
So what's so special about it?
Sure. So what we're doing here is a partial depth repair, meaning we're not going all the way down to the sub-base below the concrete.
Okay.
We're grinding the bad areas out, jackhammering the bad areas out, and they're using a patch mix material, which comes in a bag, mix it up in a mobile mixer, place it back in the hole. It's a lot quicker process and cheaper process than doing the full depth repairs.
And the full depth repair is what we normally would do.
The full depth repairs are normal. The constraints on that is we would have to do 4 feet wide. So even if your repair area is only 8 inches wide, with a full depth you have to go 4 feet wide.
So what made the city engineering folks consider this new approach?
So it is new for the city of Sioux Falls. It is fairly new for the state of South Dakota. Minnesota has been doing a lot of it. Iowa does a lot of it. In 2015, the city of Sioux Falls did a little test strip where we did a partial depth repair on Kiwanis Avenue. And here we are 6 years later, and it is holding up very well.
Oh, that's good news. So then we decided, okay, let's try it for the
Let's try a full-size project. Kiwanis Avenue, the condition, some of the panels have shifted a little, some have fallen a little. The joints are in definite need of repair. A reconstruction job, if you remember in 2018, the Ellis Road got reconstructed. That project came in at $12.6 million. A partial depth repair for that same stretch from 12th Street to 41st Street is coming in at $2.7 million.
So it's well worth our investment.
Well worth the investment.
Okay.
We were in need of an intermediate repair process. This is it.
So this pavement's around like 25, 29 years old. Is it typical to do this type of maintenance program when it's this kind of young, I guess, or not?
So yes, this Kiwanis got rebuilt in 92, 93, and 94. It had a joint repair done in 2009 and another joint repair done in 2011. That is typical to have it necessary to do a full depth joint repair in 7 years, 7 to 10 years. So we're at that point where something needs to be done again with Kiwanis.
Okay.
And mid-panel, the concrete looks great. It's in good condition. So we're doing the partial depth repairs. We are doing some full depth repairs. We are also redoing the ADA ramps at every corner.
Very good.
The accessible pedestrian signals, the APS system, is what is going in at every corner.
And that's with the posts with the buttons.
Yep, and it gives an audible signal, let the pedestrian know when it's safe to cross Kiwanis Avenue.
Very good. So as I drive by it, there's certainly the yellow things that it looks like foam board or something in the joints, and then also you actually have a barrel hand concrete mixture. So those are two things you don't typically see on a concrete project like this.
Correct. So the patch material, being it is a bag mix, it does get mixed on site.
Okay.
And this contractor has 2 small mobile mixers, and they are using the bag mix material. You dump that in the mobile mixer, you dump the liquid accelerator in there, mix it up, place it in the partial depth repair.
Awesome. Well, this will be exciting to watch then as we continue on with the summer. What's the final finish then, and when is the project to be completed?
So final finish, we're hoping mid-July, end July to be completed. We broke it into 3 phases, so it's basically broken into thirds. Our next phase will be down by O'Gorman. We're going to start at 41st and go to 33rd, and then we'll complete the middle in between. After we have all the repairs done, the partial depths and the full depths, then a diamond grinding company will come in and they will diamond grind the surface and make it smooth. It will be so smooth riding, you won't even know you're driving.
So that is a new thing also, isn't
That
it?
is a new thing as
Awesome.
well. If you've driven Kiwanis and you've driven over these partial patches that we have done already, they are rough.
Yeah.
We kept in mind that no need to finish them perfectly smooth. We're going to grind the entire surface anyway.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, how exciting. We'll definitely be back in a little bit to check on your progress. Thanks so much for
Excellent.
your time.
Yes, you're welcome.
Well, that's a wrap, Sioux Falls. We have a lot of stuff going on this summer, and we always appreciate your patience. Be sure to check our website at siouxfalls.org/construction, and there will be all kinds of updates for you on each one of our projects. Until next time, see you on the streets.